Hello everyone, I'm Phil from Verona. I have been a musician for the past 20-25 years. I am currently singer and main composer for my band, my symphonic power metal band called Chronosphere. And I also run two other solo project, one-man band project called Tezza F and Silence Oath, which are respectively power metal and atmospheric black metal. With one of these one-man band, Tezza F, recently I released the third full length, the third LP, called Key to Her Kingdom, which has been released by Elevate Records in CD and digital format. If you'd like to check my music, if you're interested, you can find it on services like Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. Or you can find all my discography and all my music on my Bandcamp page, the Tezza F Bandcamp page. I want to apologize in advance for my English because it's certainly not so strong. And that's it. Enjoy the interview. The moniker for this project simply recalls my last name, Tezza, and my first name abbreviated, so F stands for Filippo. I had given this name to the project at the time of its creation, so back then in 2006 when I was a student. And I remember that at the time I was inspired mainly by the solo works of Luca Turilli, the former guitarist of Rhapsody, or Rhapsody of Fire if you prefer. So I was inspired by him, by his artworks, his logo, and everything he had created back then. And what else? Yeah. When I started this project, I had no intention of. I had no interest and no intention in promoting or making it grow. I just started this project for personal pleasures for myself. If I could back to those years now, in fact, I probably will change the name of this project, and I'd probably choose something different. But with the time, I became fond of the name, of the logo, and I started to like it. So I kept it until today. Key to Your Kingdom is the third full-length album for this project, and it has been released about 6-7 years after the previous record, A Shelter from Existence, the previous full-length album, A Shelter from Existence, and 4 years after the last EP called The Guardian Rises 2. After the very elaborate and proggish sound of the previous record, of the previous album, A Shelter from Existence, with this new record, I just wanted to go back to my roots, go back to a more direct and power metal sound. And so for this reason, I decided to rearrange and rework and rewrite some of the songs that were contained on the first two demos of the project. Those two demos that were called, by the way, Fire Still Burns and Winter of Souls, were recorded respectively in 2006 and 2008. And those demos had never been released before, and they were, at the time, they were distributed and spread only among friends and girlfriends. So I decided to take those old songs and make them new. So the new Key to Your Kingdom album contains the very first pieces, the very first tracks and ideas and songs of the project, completely rewritten, reworked, rearranged, with the adding of some new stuff as well. Well, I usually never had have a specific topic for my lyrics. I generally let myself be inspired by events, inner situations, something like that. That are often personal. Uh, on the new album, there are quite different kind of lyrics. You can find. A sort of manifest of criticism against society as it is in Fire Still Burns. That is the opener track. Or you can find some of the lyrics that I like to call motivational. Those kind of, lyrics like the title track or Voices, which is an invitation to always follow your dreams, always follow your instincts, your path, and make the choice you want to make for your own life, for your own good. Uh, those kind of lyrics, I like to call them motivational. Um, there are some other lyrics that are even more personal, like Cold Rain lyrics, where I talk about a long period where I suffer from anxiety disorders or panic attacks. Or there is the lyrics of Endless Night that are dedicated to my beloved father. You can also find some vaguely fantasy elements in lyrics like Moonlight Chant or For Death or Glory, but still their ultimate meanings are anyway down to earth or human topics, such as the feelings when for whatever reason you're forced to abandon your homeland, abandon your family, your friends, or topics like the pain of a loss, the honor, the value of keeping a promise, stuff like that. So that said, I have to say also that I don't usually deal with the fantasy stuff in my lyrics. I just use these kind of elements like metaphors. I used to make the cover artworks, the graphic layouts, and everything by myself, except for the cover artworks of the previous records, A Shelter from Existence and The Guardian Rises One, the first EP, which were instead handcrafted and made by an artist. Although I am not a graphic designer, I learned in the years a bit about photo composition techniques, something like that, which I also used to make this cover for the new album. This artwork image shows a sort of enchanted kingdoms, something that you could find on a fantasy power metal band cover. As I said before, I don't usually deal with fantasy stuff, but I think that this image is matches perfectly with the meaning I wanted to represent. So you can find, as I said, an enchanted kingdom. That, metaphorically speaking, is a is a metaphor. Is an image that represents a refuge, a place in the mind where you can find peace, where you can relax your mind, where you can take a break and from the chaotic daily life and the daily life we are living every day. So this is the meaning of this image. I wanted to represent a place where you can find a shelter for yourself. Yes, sure. I've been collaborating with Elevate Records for 2-3 years now, because it was the label we chose with Chronosphere for the release of our second album called The Astral Gaze Part 1, which was released in February 2022. Then I also released the latest record I made for my other solo one-man band project, atmospheric black metal project Silent South. The latest record, which is called From the Womb of the Earth, was also released by Elevate Records in September 2022. And then recently this label has been also interested in my power metal project Tezza F. With this label, so the new album Key to Your Kingdom was released. Elevate Records is a small and independent record label based in Rome, here in Italy. But it is small and independent, but you can work very well with them on various aspects of publishing. Well, music is not just a hobby for me. It is, and it always has been a huge part of my life, and so not just a hobby, but it always has been something more for me. Unfortunately, it's never been my job, and it's not my job now. Although I am also a voice teacher, and I teach a bunch of students at the moment after work, after my regular work, my regular job. In my daily life, in fact, I have a pretty normal technical desk job at the moment, although I have also a degree in geology, and I worked for several years in this field. So to sum up, I'm nothing but an ordinary regular guy with a normal job, with a normal life, with a house to pay and stuff like that, but with a strong, always with a strong passion and strong dreams for music. Well, I have had a strong passion for metal music since I was a kid, thanks to some Metallica and Iron Maiden tapes, the tapes that my brother owned, that my brother had at the time. I remember in particular that those two tapes were Metallica's Black Album and Iron Maiden's Power Slave. So those two were my first two metal records, and there were also other records that I can recall right now. But I can remember that an important moment, a key moment, for my metalhead career, let's say, came in 2001 when a friend of my sister made me a gift, and this gift was a CD copy of Nightfall in Middle-earth by Blind Guardian. Nightfall in Middle-earth and Blind Guardian, it was a kind of music, and it was a band that I didn't know at the time. And when I first listened to those notes, to that music, I was wow! It literally blew my mind. And I can remember that it literally blew my mind. So from that moment on, um, Nightfall in Middle Earth became my first. Sorry, became my my favorite record ever, and Blind Guardian my favorite band ever. So over the years, then I discover a lot more what is called power metal. I discover pretty every subgenres of heavy metal, and I got also into black metal, into more extreme genres, and even today I try to stay updated as much as I can on what is new in the whole metal scene. I like to listen to a lot of music pretty every day, both major bands and also underground bands, and not only metal but also other kind of music. Well, the main obstacle, I think it was that I wanted to start to and to learn to sing very well. You know, when I was a kid, as a kid, I've always learned by myself to to play the instruments that I had in my house, in particular guitars, and I learned myself to also to sing. So these two were my main instruments for many years. So guitars and vocals. And I learned all by myself, and I did that for several years. At a certain point in my life, I decided that I wanted to improve my vocal skills. Okay, I decided that I wanted to become a better musician. So I started to take lessons, to take vocal lessons. It was, I think, about 12 years ago. And that was very helpful for my project, but in particular for the live activity with Chronosphere. It was a very important improvement for my vocals, and it helped me very much to improve my voice and to have a control over it. So this is the main obstacle, I think. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't mind to collaborate with a guy like Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day, because first I think he's a he's a nice guy, and because you know, Green Day has been my favorite band for several years when I was a kid, when I was younger. Um, it will be interesting to write a new rock opera with him, uh, something in the way of American Idiot, for example. Yes, then I think that it will be enjoyable and nice to collaborate with him. Well, this is a question that I think it would require a too long and elaborate answer, but let's see. Metal music surely has evolved during the years, and it continues to do that. Maybe this evolution is necessary to heavy metal, and maybe it is the real reason why metal music has lasted for the last 50 years. However, personally, I don't like very much the fact that we are moving toward a two standard kind of productions. You know, there is a I think there is an increase of this unpersonal sound. You know, this kind of records and productions that sound the same to me. Mm, so this kind of guitars and drum sound that sounds like plastic, like fake. I don't like very much that kind of modern conception of metal music. Well, I don't like the idea of a final artistic image output made by simply typing some words on a prompt. I'm not very fond of that idea. I prefer I prefer human drawings and also photo compositions and graphic artworks, but made by a real person. Although I'm not against AI in general, but this question anyway will deserve a deeper and more detailed answer for sure. I will say the three Avantasia gigs I attended to in Milan in 2013, 2016, and 2019. All the three concerts were great. Then I will say Moon Sorrow in Brescia near Milan, here in Italy. Then the latest one I saw, Green Day in Milan 2024. Iron Maiden 2014 in Bologna. And last but not least, my favorite band ever, Blind Guardians. Blind Guardians gig in 2017 at Battlefield Metal Fest in Milan. Blind Guardians Nightfall in Middle Earth. 12 a.m. studio session, hands down. Oh well, there are too many. Let's say the first three that come to my mind. Listen to Your Heart by Roxette. 74-75 by the Connells, and in the end a great classic, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Well, next year I will release hopefully a new album for my Tezza F power metal project, if everything goes according to the plans. In fact, the new and the next full-length album for this project has already been recorded. Only vocals are left. Also in this month I'm writing some new stuff, new songs, and recording some new ideas for the next album of my other solo project, Silent South. And hopefully there will be also for this project a new album in 2025, I hope. And so there are also other projects I'm working on, non-related to metal music. So there is so much to do in the future for me and my projects. Thank you for having me here. I hope you all enjoyed the interview, and I hope I have been able to arouse your curiosity about my projects, about my music. And again, I'm sorry for my English, because I'm not so practical with this language. I'm not used to it. And cheers everyone, and stay metal.